Hey, Beartooth Bears, happy Friday to you. Today's manner is honestly a really easy one, in my opinion. I think a lot of these are actually sometimes pretty easy. We just have to pause and think about them for a moment. So, this one is stated after eating, be responsible for your area. So, when you are in the classroom and you have snack, you need to check your desk and look for crumbs. Check the floor to make sure there's not any other pieces of the snack or whatever you were eating that have fallen onto the floor, and pick that up so that way other kids don't step on it, smash it into the carpet, and make it something that either we just can't get out because it's so bad, or something that takes a custodian a little bit more time to vacuum or sweep if it's in the lunchroom, whatever. And you got to be responsible for that. So here's a way that I like to talk about doing this. And teachers, if you can even have your kids practice, because we do need to work on this in the lunchroom in particular, especially when we have things like shredded cheese or blueberries, or even like the smaller taco meat that has a tendency to fall off of a spork and get on the table and things like that. Rice is a big one. So when you're eating in the lunchroom or in your classroom, if your snack is, or crumbs are on the table, you need to brush those crumbs off the edge of the table into your hand, and then not go like this, but then take them and then either, if it's in your classroom, walk it to the trash and go like that in the garbage. But in the lunchroom, you can take those crumbs and just put them right back over your tray and drop them onto your tray and kind of brush the crumbs back onto your tray, and then you carry your tray away. I also like to say do it this way, like this is my tray. It's my hat, but it's a tray. So if this is your tray, you put it underneath the table, brush the crumbs off the edge so they fall onto your tray, and then you pick up your tray and you head out once you've been dismissed. So that's a really good way to practice. Teachers, maybe the kids could grab a whiteboard and show how to put the whiteboard underneath their desk, and they could put it in the opening of their desk because that would be under the table in the lunchroom. Brush crumbs down onto that tray, and then you'd be holding your tray ready to walk out of the lunchroom. Or brush the crumbs onto your tray, set your lunch down, and then raise your hand so ladies know that you're ready to go. So when they come by you, your area is all cleaned up. And then you can do the same thing on the bench if there's crumbs on the bench, because sometimes even though we lean over, crumbs do like hit the table and fall onto the bench. Do the same thing with your tray. You put your tray underneath the bench and brush the crumbs off the edge of the bench down into your tray before you leave. And then again, you need to scan the floor and check the floor in the lunchroom to make sure you've picked up all the crumbs. Now, we haven't started doing Friday Lunch DJ yet, and I would really like to get this going. But here are some things I need to see in the lunchroom. Number one, I need to see you being responsible for your area and doing a better job cleaning up. Because it's even harder when the lights are off and we're doing DJ. Now, usually we turn one row of lights on, but it's not as bright and it's harder to see crumbs. So I need to see you guys doing a better job of cleaning up the gym yourselves and taking care of your space before I start playing music. We also need to work on getting our volume down a little bit and just having normal 3-foot voices that carry across the table to talk to our friends. And we got kids that are leaning back in the seats. We got kids that are almost like crawling underneath the table from time to time. I'm not sure what you're doing, but we know lunch manners, just like if you're sitting at your dining table during dinner at home, or if you were to go to a restaurant. I like to tell people that space that is our gym, when we are serving breakfast or lunch, is no longer a gym. You're not going in there to exercise and run. That space is a restaurant. You can call it the Beartooth Cafe if you want to, because we are serving meals to people, just like a restaurant does. Myself, the other ladies that are in there, are like your waiters or waitresses. If you need something, you get our attention, you ask politely, we go get it, we bring it back, just like you would do at a restaurant. The only difference is you don't leave money on the table and tip us for all the things we do for you during lunchtime. We do it because we're here to school, we care, we're here to help, and that's what we're there for. So we need you to do your part and make sure you also clean up. And I would even say when you're done at a restaurant, if you have a bunch of crumbs around your table at a restaurant or your space where you're eating, I would hope you brush them off and put them back on your plate. Don't just leave it there for somebody, and you certainly don't just brush them off onto the floor and call it good, because then somebody there has to come back later and vacuum that up. In our Beartooth Cafe, they have to come by and sweep it up. And it just takes more time at the end. So what you can do is follow this manner. It's really simple. It takes you just 30 seconds. And these ladies have 30 minutes to clean up the gym, and they take all of it. So 30 seconds, spend the time, in your classroom and in the Beartooth Cafe, and be responsible for your area after you're done eating. Clean up your mess. All right? Have a wonderful Friday. We'll hopefully see you guys at lunchtime. I'd love to start rolling out with our Friday lunch DJ. So make it happen. Let's have a good week next week. Get our crumbs cleaned up. Be a little bit more respectful in the way you act in that Beartooth Cafe and your volume, so we can have our first lunch DJ this next Friday. All right? We'll talk to y'all soon.